What's up? What's up? I'm Dustin Corbett, your host of the new podcast, Two Steps Ahead, Episode 3, coming at you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you for hanging with us, everybody. We appreciate your time. We appreciate you taking some time out of your day to hang with us for a little bit. Last week, we really kind of got going on some in-depth topic. We spoke about culture in the workplace, and we got into that quite a bit. This week, what we're going to do, what we'd like to speak about, is kind of piggybacking on top of that, and getting into a little bit more in terms of the motivational piece. We spoke about it briefly last week and episode 1 as well, I think, a little bit. But that being said, that's what we're going to talk about today. I want to talk about what moves people, what gets them going. Like I said, we did speak a bit about this last week, but I think it's so important that we move our people in a particular way and we use what moves them to move them. We don't have to be geniuses here. We don't have to be rocket scientists. We just take what we know and we use that to catapult our people in the direction that they want to go. So to start it off, what I think we need to really have resonate and sink in to anybody in the business, or any business, any sales business for that matter, is that sales itself, is by far the best business on the planet. I'm a little biased with that. Okay, I understand. I've been in sales my whole life. That's all I know. But that being said, you cannot point me in another direction or change my mind on this, because I don't know of another business, because there isn't one, that can get you to where you want to go, and the only thing in your way is you. There's no other business that can get you as far as you want, and the only thing that can stop you is you. Now, there's some other businesses that are close, maybe. There's a lot of businesses that the only thing that would stop you to getting to where you want to be is you. But there is literally uncapped potential of where you could land in sales, as far as you want to go. Quite honestly, it's an open checkbook. You fill in the blank. Tell me another business that can do that for you. And if you do, and it's not labeled as sales, well, I almost guarantee that there's some type of sales within that business when you break down what you're going to be doing every day to make whatever it is you're trying to make. And that's why it's the best business in the world. It's really it. But to prove that point, there are some people that may not want that ability, because with that ability to write your own check and go as far as you possibly want to go, what comes with that is the potential to have nothing. So we can ride up here, top of the clouds, but just as quicker than we get to the top of the clouds, we can be in the bottom, underground. So some people don't want that risk. I get it, I guess. I don't, but I understand people have different prerogatives. So we have the risk involved in sales that we could literally make nothing, or we can make a whole boatload of money. So some people don't want that risk. They'd rather take a steady stream of income. They know what they're going to make. They know to the penny what their paycheck will look like, post-tax, post-benefits, post-anything else taken out. And they want to live that way. And that's cool. Like, I'm not knocking people that don't want that risk. Not at all. But I think this is why the motivation behind our people, what moves them, what pushes them, is so important, because not everybody is okay with the risk, even though the reward is much higher than what they could get if they're in a position that does not give them the ability to go this way, but keeps them even, and they just know. They just know where they're going to be. So I see it. I understand it. But if we have someone that's wanting stability and a guarantee of the same pay on a weekly, biweekly, whatever it is, basis, well, then it's really hard to to take someone like that and push the idea of sales, isn't it? I would say yes. So here's the thing. What we need to make sure is, A, that nobody is upset or embarrassed by the fact that they're in sales. And we need to make sure that every one of our employees understands this and knows this and does not feel embarrassed to tell their friends and their family that they're in sales. Some people are embarrassed to say that because of this stigma that salespeople have maintained or absorbed for decades and decades. It's silly. It's absolutely stupid. Don't be embarrassed about what you do. It's nonsense. Be you. If you're true to you and you're a good person and you work with good morals and you sell the hell out of everything, whatever it is that you're selling, well then if you're doing it the right way, you should be applauding yourself, and your family should applaud you as well. And if they don't, I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry. It's not the type of people I want to hang around, family or not. They should be happy for you. If you're producing at a high level in sales and you're doing it with your moral compass, then there's nothing that you should be embarrassed about. And they should be happy for you. That being said, I say to everybody when I interview anyone, this is the question that I think means anything and everything, particularly in business, and more so on an individual level. What is your why? I've never interviewed someone in the last 6 years when I really started thinking this way. I've never interviewed anyone for any position without asking this distinct question. What is your why? What moves you? Now, there's a lot of ways to answer this, and I've heard a lot. And I'm sure for those of you that are listening to me, which again, I appreciate, I love you, you've probably heard more than what I've heard in terms of response to this question. A natural and easy answer to this is, well, I want to make a ton of money. I want to be really successful. Although I totally agree with both of those, and I feel that everybody should want, again, both of those to be their truth. I want to get into a little bit deeper into those answers. Well, okay, you can want a ton of money. I really don't know anybody, and I mean this. I don't know anybody that if I said, hey, I'm going to give you a ton of money in exchange, you give me nothing, I don't think anybody would say no to that. So that being said, a ton of money to me is not a good enough answer. Success, I want to be successful. Not a good enough answer to me. Because success can come in a million different ways depending on who you ask, and I respect every one of those answers in terms of a subcategory amongst success. So those aren't good. What I'm talking about is I want people that understand and they know and they have this driving force that gets them up at night, that gets them up in the morning, that they cannot stop thinking about ever, that moves them to massive levels of production. Now, that answer can be money. But if someone tells me they want to be rich, they want to make a ton of money, I simply ask them, okay, good start. You're not done yet. Why do you want money? Why do you want a lot? What is a lot? Kind of open-ended question, but I don't know that there's a correct answer. Again, each person is going to have their own individual reasoning behind this, which is perfect. That's what I want. Take me for an example. I want a ton of money. I do. That motivates me. Absolutely. My reason for wanting a ton of money is because I know what it feels like to have $0. I know what it feels like to not be able to pay a bar bill when I was just finishing college. I know what it's like to be living basically in your car and in the field house of a baseball stadium in the locker room for many, many a night. That's why I want money. I want money because I vowed, and I still to this day vow, to my wife and my kids that they will not grow up the way that I grew up. I love my parents to death. They're the best two people on the face of this planet, bar none. But we didn't have money growing up. The tangible things, the really nice cars and houses and clothes and all this other nonsense, which I thought that I needed when I was young, and stupid me. Stupid me. But we know what it's like to live a little rough. We know what it's like to have really big financial and monetary issues come up. So I took the vow that I will not allow my kids to live that way. I'm going to give them everything that I can possibly give them from the moment they were born until the moment that I'm gone. I'm going to give them everything that I have. And what that is a work ethic. I just fell into this automotive industry. That story is for another time, and we'll get into that at some point maybe. But as I did fall in, that was my outlet. That was my option. That was my choice to get in there. And then I realized, shit, I can make this whatever the heck I want to make this. So I'm not allowing anything to get in my way. That's the way that I wake up in the morning. I don't want a ton of money because I need to trim my beard, because I don't do that anyways. Let's call it what it is. I don't want a ton of money to go get a $75 haircut. I don't care. I don't want a ton of money to wear a $10,000 watch. I wear wristbands that cost who the heck knows 50 cents. They mean something to me. I want a ton of money to set my family up the best way that I possibly can, because I think that is what I need to do. That is my job on a human level. I need to take care of my family. That's my responsibility. And I don't let anybody get in my way doing that. I'm going to give him a little shout out. I asked him ahead of time if this is okay, and he said no problem. Timothy DeJesus was on a podcast. I was listening to that today, and he kind of sparked my idea of what this topic was going to be. We were thinking about this anyways, and then I listened to him, and I said, oh my goodness, this has got to be it. He said for a couple of years he was working for an automotive group. Again, it doesn't matter what business, doesn't matter that it's automotive, but he was working for an automotive group, and over a couple of years, he was able to really ratchet up the production level. Obviously, at that point comes volume sales, comes revenue, comes gross profit, and I'm assuming a massive increase in net profit as well for the store and the auto group. He kind of looked at himself after a few years and said, my goodness, I'm paraphrasing, by the way, here. Timothy, I'm not quoting you. He says, oh my goodness, I'm doing all this, although I love my job, and I'm so happy we're able to raise the bar and really produce at a higher level than where we were before I got here. So I'm happy. I'm good. Yes. But then he said, I'm doing all this and things are good, and I'm doing this for someone else. The dealership is reaping the reward of what we've been able to accomplish and put into place, is what he says. But he wanted more. He wanted to do it for himself. I could not agree with him more. This is what I'm getting at. I tell all of our employees, starting with the original interview, when I ask that question, what's your why? What gets you? What gets you going? Then I follow that to everybody almost on a daily basis. Not really, but quite often we talk about it. I tell everybody here, listen, my job as a general manager is to set you up to the best of my ability to maximize your ability to produce at whatever level you want to. What do I mean? Well, whether it's spending a few dollars for a tool, software, training, giving them my knowledge, my experience on a day-by-day basis, transaction-by-transaction basis, coming together, collaborating, taking their ideas, my ideas, coming together with best practices. This is what we do. My job is to set them up on a tee to produce as high as they possibly can, to the point where if they're not producing the way that they want to, that they can't blame their situation as to why they're not getting what they want. I can't say, oh, well, I don't have enough traffic. Oh, well, there's not enough business here. Oh, well, I don't have the software in order to make these transactions any quicker so I can get on to the next one. They don't have that ability. That's my job, is to not allow that to be a reason why they're not producing at the level that they want to. That's my job. So what that means is I don't want them to crush it and go beast mode every day like I do want them to do. I don't want them to do that for me. I don't want them to do that for any one of their individual department managers. I want them to do this 100% for them. And whatever their motivation is. So if their motivation is to take care of their parents who have taken care of them for decades, that's a great motivation. And I'm in with that. So don't try to come here and make a ton of money for me. Make a ton of money so you can support your family. I don't want them to come in here and want to make a ton of money and go beast mode and sell a bunch of cars or service a ton of cars and beat the clock to book hours all day, every day, just so they make a ton of money. I want them to do that so they can get that house that they wanted for their wife and their kids, or their husband and their kids, or to get that car that they've been looking at for 14, 15 years since they were 12. That's the true motivation. Not just to make a ton of money. Well, what are you going to do with it? Where's the money going? I want them to do this for them. I do it for me. What's my me? What's my why? I'm sorry. My wife and my kids. To make sure that they have everything that they need to live a life that I hope they want to live and they can, because daddy busts his ass every day. That's what moves me. It's a little bit more granular than just saying, oh man, I want to be really good. Well, yeah, of course I do. Of course I do. I hate to lose. I don't even like winning. It's the truth. I really don't care to win. Why? Well, because in my head somewhere, I feel that I should. So when we do win, when we have wins, all right, nice job. We praise the team members that get small wins, no doubt, but it should be. When I lose, that's when I get pissed off. I don't like losing. I hate to lose. So I'd rather just do it just to say that I didn't lose. To be honest with you, I can't stand losing. But again, we have to really dig into our employees, and we have to understand that, and or ourselves. What moves you? What moves your people? And the minute that we can get in tune with each one of our individual people's motivation or why, and we're constantly having side conversations and pump up sessions and bringing in those individual whys when we're trying to get our people better and highly, highly produce every day, is when we're going to start seeing the light turn. Because then they know that we're in it with them, so they can get whatever they want, whatever their why is, and we're here to help them get their why. Now, naturally, obviously, in turn, what will happen if we can muster up and get out of everybody, extract from all of our employees what their actual why is? Well, obviously, if we can get them to think about this all day and every day while they're working and going beast mode, well, they're going to produce higher. If you have your burning sensation and your burning why in the back or the side or the front of your head all day, every day, well, you're naturally going to perform at a level as if you have no other choice but to make it happen. So when we get that, well, naturally the production will go up. Naturally, the numbers will rise. Naturally, the profits will rise. And naturally, the company will make more money. Kind of silly, but 100% the truth. 100% the truth. Don't do it for me. Do it for you. You're in the best business in the world in sales. You write your own checkbook. You have the ability to make as much as you want to make for whatever the reason is. I don't care. It can be anything, and they're all extremely important to that individual. Whatever your why is, figure it out and make it happen. We all have the ability, especially now in these times with COVID-19. Level playing field. For the first time that I've seen in my career. one dealer to the next is now so level and so equal that it's mind-blowing, because we're all dealing with the same stuff, and it's a matter of what we're going to do moving forward, how we're going to make adjustments, how we're going to make changes to figure it out and be better when this is over. I'm actually excited. I'm really excited for this. When this thing turns, I'm super pumped up to see what we can accomplish. It's all even now, baby. Love it. Get your people's why. Get them on that same page. Wow, wow, wow. Results will blow up. I wish all of you the best. Thank you again. Thank you, thank you, thank you for hanging with us, spending some time. Episode 3 of 2 Steps Ahead. Again, I'm Dustin Corbett. Thank you, Emily Osborne, putting all this thing together behind the scenes. We appreciate you. We will talk to you soon. Again, like, listen, follow, subscribe, all that stuff. We're just hoping that we can help some people along the way. We think we have some good ideas. We don't know. Maybe they're terrible. You can tell me that too. DM me, message, whatever. If I'm terrible, I understand it. We'll work on it. We'll get better. That's what we do. So thank you again. Until next time, good vibes.